much, boy, in the pan. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, boy. Right. Hello, this is Shaika, also known as Shy. Hi, this is Shaika, also known as Shy.
And this is Christine, also known as Schmo.
And we are Flawless
Inspiration.
Today's topic is, we talked about it, but what did we say we were going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about
being hurt through relationships and trying to let go of hatred towards a person that may have hurt you, and learning to heal through the process.
Yeah, like a form of forgiveness, but also when we forgive people, sometimes we forgive them, but do we really forgive them? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, some people are like, oh, I forgive them, but they still hold animosity towards them.
Absolutely.
Or, so let me give you an example. I think with me, as the example, I get hurt very easily, as you know, Shaika, because I am a very, I was telling Shy that obviously when I have a friendship of any kind, I take it very serious because I'm very loving.
Yes.
And I really expect the same in return, but I have to give that up. I have to give that expectation up.
That's exactly what's coming to mind on my side. It's the expectation that causes you to be so hurt.
Yeah. So
not the action necessarily.
Exactly.
It's the expectation, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So just because my loyalty is high on the charts for me doesn't mean that loyalty is high on the charts, for example, for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, or just because maybe lying bothers me, maybe that doesn't bother you. You know, so I can't have that same expectation from other people. So when somebody does something that is not something that I want to do, I get very, very hurt. And I instantly shut them off in my mind.
Yes, yes.
So somebody did something and I was really hurt by them. And Shaika kind of checked me, and Shaika stopped me and said, but you did like them at one point, right? You loved them. You appreciated their friendship. And I said, wow. I said, yeah, Shaika, you're right. I did. I valued them. I respected them, and I honored them. And I loved our friendship. So you know what, Shaika? From this day forward, I'm not going to dwell on the fact that we're not friends and that it failed.
Absolutely.
I'm going to appreciate the friendship we had.
Yes, and the lesson. Right.
And I'm going to move on, and there's no hard feelings.
Absolutely. It has to be that way.
And it's because of her. And, you know, I always, I don't just preach and not practice what I preach.
Right.
You know? But I appreciated her calling me out on that. Because she said, Christine, like...
Yeah, because I...
Not because I was talking trash.
Well,
because I was hurt.
Well... Yeah, you weren't necessarily talking trash, but you were like, I just don't understand, and this person is trash because they hurt me. And obviously, you didn't say trash. You didn't say that part, but you were just saying, like, things that were invoking hate in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm so hurt. Oh, little does the next one know that he's not loyal, and this person is not, like, truthful or honest, and all these things you were saying. And as I was receiving what you were saying, I'm like, okay, I still hear the hurts, but at the end of the day, we can't say that this person is so terrible, because it's almost like, okay, well, you liked that person at one point. That person was your friend. You liked them enough to bring them into your space. So with that being said, you have to understand that's something to say about you as well, and not to say that you're not loyal or deceitful or anything like that. But I'm just saying there were some qualities, many qualities, because as a person, me knowing you as being your friend for so long, you just don't let anybody into your space, and I know this. So with that being said, for you allowing that person to be in your space, clearly they had good qualities of themselves that you saw that they were worthy of being in your space. Now, when things don't go the way that you expected it to, because in this particular situation, the person was honestly just a close friend of yours, right? So with that being said, sometimes you might form a liking to the person or whatever may transpire from that friendship. The friendship could still stay strong, but if it doesn't go to your expectation, a lot of times we lash out in anger, and then we're like kind of saying like, oh my God, this person is not nice, they're deceitful, they were dishonest to me, all these things. And you have to really look at it like, okay, you have to really analyze like, wait a minute. First of all, the person has issues with themselves, first of all. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times we think that we could just be people's savior, and that's not our job. You know what I'm saying? That's not our job, first of all. And second of all, it's like, okay, well, you can't really, like, in certain situations, yes, people are straight out forward, deceitful, right? But in certain situations, it's how you're receiving, how they're acting, that you're assuming that is just deceitful, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I was coming from, because I feel like that is almost going to be a deterrent to you, because you're not going to open a space to let somebody good into your space that is for you if you keep holding on to that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And it was such a sign of
like an aha moment.
Yeah, yeah, and I just felt like
yeah.
I know the word I'm looking for, like
what, release?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
You felt relieved that wow, I never looked at it from that way. So now that I'm looking at this from that perspective, oh my God, I can kind of like let it go, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Because I always strive to be a very forgiving person, and I do forgive people for what they've done to me. But you know, I am human, and I do remember, but I don't dwell on it. I'm not really a dwelling type of person, because I know that's heavy to carry, and I don't want to carry all that hate. You know, people have really done deceitful things to me, and I've sincerely let it go. But I'm human, so I don't forget it. Right.
And it might come up again. Yeah. It might stir up feelings.
Yeah. But I instantly let them go. But this is kind of fresh, so
yes.
I was kind of taken back and kind of hurt and stuff. But you just helped me realize that, like, no, you're gonna let it go. But you're not gonna let it go and be upset. You're gonna let it go because there was a appreciation for a friendship there.
Yes.
And there's no need to be upset because there was a friendship and there was a lesson.
Right. And
there's no hate.
Right. You have to appreciate whether it's a positive or negative outcome. To me, you should still appreciate the experience.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I learned and I valued the friendship. And not all friendships are supposed to last. And we've talked about that before in our videos.
That part.
And that's okay. Not all friendships, not all relationships. And I think that especially women, we get so angry and upset with people. And like, we just become so angry. And it's like, we hold on to stuff. Not me per se, but I know a lot of women do. We always hold on to stuff so much. And it's so damaging to who we are. Right. And who we could be.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? Absolutely. And who we in the relationships that we form with the next people.
Absolutely.
Because of all that anger and bitterness
that we're holding on to. Absolutely.
You know? And in a sense, it definitely damages relationships that I might have with a potential lover. Absolutely. For what I've been through and how I let stuff go, but how I still remember or how I know that
you're not really letting it go, to be honest. You're
in
thinking,
a sense, like, I've let go of the
No, I'm not talking about.
You know, I know where you're going with that. I want to just explain it.
Go ahead.
So I've let go of the fact that somebody hurt me and I forgave them. But
you're still holding on to a form of that the how you felt or maybe
the betrayal.
Right.
Because I'm like, wow, like.
Right, and then you're like, if this person, and I feel like a lot of people are almost. They get so hurt because they're like, I can't believe I can't believe I was deceived that way. Like, I can't believe I fell for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. But instead of realizing it from that aspect, you're projecting that back onto the person. This person's this person's that, this person's this. And remember I told you too, like, sometimes, like, like you could be damaged, and that could be the reason why y'all relationship couldn't last. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
But we don't. A lot of times we don't look that inward. We just project it out and saying it's all the other person's
yeah,
fault.
and you know, let me just piggyback because you brought something else too.
Mm-hmm.
Like we need, like a lot of us need to seek therapy.
Oh my God, I was just talking about this. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with seeking therapy.
Such a stigma when it comes to therapy.
Yes.
And it's therapeutic, right?
Right. You have
like,
to talk to people.
We've all been through stuff in our life where
Yes.
we internalized it and kept it moving.
Yes. And a lot of times people think that that's like talking to somebody and seeing a therapist is so frowned upon, but
and it's not. Like it's healing.
Yes.
Like, I just literally
yes.
spoke to 2 people in the last 2 weeks that no, I'm lying. Let me add another person on there. 3 people, because someone just told me yesterday. I'm depressed.
Oh, I've heard. Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I'm depressed. And out of those 3 people, 1 of them were talking to a therapist.
Oh wow, you look at that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And 2 of them, the other 2 might have been trying to seek therapy. But the whole point of it is, I think that we all try to like manage that
on our own. Yep.
And
we mask a lot.
Me, I'm a number 1 person that's trying to manage it on my own.
Myself as well.
Yeah, like just a. My father died, and my ex-boyfriend was my father died when I was 21, and my ex-boyfriend was trying to kill me. And I was going through a lot. I've never sought therapy for that,
and that's traumatic. And you never.
And my father was my life, so let's just put that in the little situation. My father and mother were married 25 years, and my father died from cancer. And he and my mom helped me do everything with my son. So my father died when my son was 20. My father died when my son was 4, and I was 21. My whole life completely changed.
Right.
And at that time, my son. There was my ex-boyfriend trying to kill me.
So that's so traumatic.
So I couldn't properly mourn the death of my father because I was trying to protect my life.
Fear. Right. It's so much like.
And I told Shaika plenty of times, like, I try to self-analyze myself all the time. Like, why do I always gravitate towards somebody that can't give me what I want? And I understand why, because I'm so afraid of genuinely loving somebody because I feel like they'll leave me. You know, obviously my father didn't leave me intentionally.
Right.
But I'm so afraid of loving somebody like I love my father because he'll leave me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that deserves therapy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sabotaging my own love.
Right. Your own happiness, your own true happiness, and the love that you should have.
Exactly.
Right?
And you as well. You were going to give an example. I apologize. You were going to say that, therapy.
No, me. I just know that like certain things, especially having kids and stuff like that. I try to be the best parent I can be, but a lot of I'm not perfect, and sometimes that I just there's certain things that my kids might do that trigger me, and I get angry. I get so angry, and it's just like, what the hell is this? And I just started to realize more recently than ever, through meditating, and not to say that I'm like so great at meditation because it's very new to me, but I realized like a lot of things that I actually am. The reason why that I'm get those feelings is because of my childhood trauma. You know what I mean?
See?
There's childhood trauma that I went through, and with that being said, I just have to realize like I have to talk to somebody about this. And there's nothing wrong with, acknowledging that, what you like the thing is that I am a happy and positive person, but I do have negative aspects of myself. And at the end of the day, there's certain things that I definitely don't want to project onto my children. I don't want to keep the cycle of like anger, my son will say one thing and then I'll just get triggered and get angry and start yelling, And it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. And he'll look at me and like, well, mommy, like, I just said this. And it's like, then I have to catch myself, and then I'm apologizing, you know, and it's not okay that I'm doing this, you know. So with that being said, I personally know that I need to seek therapy just to kind of release the childhood trauma or surface certain things. And I realized too, a lot of things that I went through in my childhood, I don't remember. You know, I really don't remember like a lot. And not to say that I had a terrible upbringing, and it wasn't, thankfully, it wasn't anything like so detrimental, thank God, you know. But there was, you know, especially like I just didn't have the traditional upbringing, but I am appreciative of my traditional upbringing, but there was a lot of scars through that whole process, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a lot of scars. I'm not necessarily going to go into detail about it, but you know, there was a lot of things that I personally went through, and I realized like even me growing up, certain aspects of myself are because of certain things that were said to me, or maybe like or like not being addressed or whatever, you know. Like it's the thing is that like it really has, I don't even know specifically, to be honest. I just know that there's a lot of things that I just need to kind of resurrect and just get through.
Yeah, like
in order
to
talking through to kind of shed that. And I've had made a lot of progress.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I'm so thankful and grateful for, you know, me realizing a lot of things that, you know, weren't necessarily good that I have to face. I just have to face them and heal through it. You got to feel the pain through it and stuff like that, you know. And sometimes when people see your life as, oh my gosh, she has the American quintessential situation, you know what I mean? And it's not really, has nothing to do with that, because there is no perfect situation. That's what people have to understand. Like, just because somebody is married with kids and they're in a happy marriage and you know everything is going good from that aspect, doesn't mean that everything is picture perfect. It doesn't mean that, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because you come into the situation with whatever baggage and trauma that you may have.
You both do, right?
You both do.
That's double the trouble.
It is, right? You know, and not to say that I know, but maybe my trauma is not as strong as my husband per se, because I personally don't think that he has a lot of trauma. I know that there's certain things that might have triggered his upbringing and that may not have been the best for him, but at the end of the day, it definitely wasn't the same situations that I went through. But there's nothing wrong with any of that, you know. But still, people have things that they have to just kind of deal with, and I don't think that my husband needs to necessarily seek therapy for whatever he went through, but I know that I have to, you know. And there's nothing wrong with owning that, you know. There's nothing wrong with owning it and saying, you know what, I know that I have things that trigger me, and I just have to face it, right? Sometimes you have no idea why you're being like that.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, for a long time, I had no idea. And it had to take for my husband to say, you know, Shy, you're like blowing up. What is going on? Like, what the heck? Somebody says one little thing and you're acting crazy. Like, what the hell? And I'm thankful for his patience, because sometimes people don't have patience for you. You know what I mean?
It's true.
You know, so, you know, I just know that I have to definitely seek help. So that's definitely something that I definitely would look to, just to kind of shed that part of it, aspect of me, you know? It's never going to go away, because this is who shaped me to be who I am.
Yeah.
But what I don't want to do is think that I'm perfect and there's nothing wrong with me, and then I'm projecting out onto my children.
Yeah, or people will say, well, that's just how I am.
No. There's always room for growth. There's always room for change.
There's always room for change. And people are so accepting of how they are, and it's so damaging to others that they don't realize that it's damaging. Right. And sometimes it's okay to go get help. Sometimes you need it.
Absolutely.
Because I remember, I'm going to be transparent, I remember when I had met my daughter's father, I was really damaged, like, when it came to relationships, because of me dealing with people that didn't necessarily appreciate me. And I didn't trust him, and I always wanted to break up with him. I tried to break up with him about 685,000 million times, right? And he looked at me and he's like, what's wrong with you? Like, why do you keep trying to break up with me? And the truth is, if I'm going to be 100% honest, I wanted him to chase me so I could feel wanted and loved. Right? I wanted him to chase me so I knew if he chased me, he loved me.
Right.
And if I left...
To prove.
Yeah, and if I left, that means... And he didn't chase me, that means he didn't want me and love me.
And that's so not the case.
And he chased me every time. Right? Every time. I would leave, this man went running in a car after me on his feet. And so one day he stopped me and he looked at me. He said, please go get help. Like, go get help. I love you. You're going to ruin us. And this is like in the beginning of our relationship. And I really did actually go speak to a therapist.
Good.
And she told me, she was like, you know, where's this coming from? And I spoke to her a little bit. And that was literally 10 years ago. And to bring this up again, I want to start again. And I'm being 100% transparent because, you know what? Honestly, somebody needs this.
Absolutely.
Somebody needs this.
Absolutely.
So that's why through my transparency, somebody's going to get a gift.
Absolutely.
So I was talking to her and she's like, you know, why do you have these bad thoughts? And I explained to her why. And she said, you know, anytime that you have a bad thought, try to sing. Because I would have bad thoughts that this man's going to cheat on me. This man's going to do this. This man's going to do this. And, you know, honestly, he never gave me a reason that he would do any of those things. He always respected me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he never hid things from me. He was very open with everything.
Yes.
You know, I had no reason to be like that with him.
Right.
And, you know, she gave me great suggestions. Like, so when you think wrong, just try to sing. Because you can't use both parts of your brains, allegedly, to sing and to think.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you start to think wrong, just start to sing.
Right.
And you can't do both at the same time.
That's fair. That's a good suggestion. Absolutely.
So I would do it every time I would have a bad thought, and you know, from then our relationship was good, and that was like in the beginning and everything. Yeah. You know, obviously my relationship didn't last, and it wasn't because of any of that. You know, and Jalen's father is an amazing man. God bless him. I'm blessed to have an amazing man that loves my daughter. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely, that's first.
All the other stuff doesn't matter. But yeah, so therapy, I think, is key. You know, I know Charlamagne gave a great, he was on a podcast, Jay Shetty.
Oh, yes, Jay Shetty, I love him.
Yeah, yes. And Charlamagne talks about how he went to get therapy when he was 38 years old and his life was forever changed. And I even heard from his therapy about 90% of his fans probably said his whole show has changed for the positive.
Since. You see that?
Because of his therapy. He's no longer that angry person that used to portray himself on the radio.
Yes, it's so impactful. It's so impactful for sure. You know, and to just realize that where your triggers lie, I feel like if you realize where it's coming from, I feel like that's what will help you get through it.
Yeah, and so many of us don't, or so many of us suppress it.
And for me personally, I feel like I suppress a lot. Like,
me too.
I mean, honestly, it's not really easy for me to talk about myself, and I never really realized that. It's hard for me to talk about myself. That's crazy. You know, it's so crazy, and it's just like, what is that coming from? You know, and I kind of know where it comes from, but then again, I don't at the same time. But I feel like a lot of times too, like, I think for me in childhood, I always tried to be like that perfect kid that no one ever had to, like, to do everything my mom and dad wanted me to do. And because I did that, and it's not my parents' fault, in my opinion now when I'm looking at it, but because I didn't, I always was doing everything that I was supposed to do, then it kind of was like I wasn't paid attention to in a sense, you know? So I feel like a lot of my trauma comes from that, and me not being able to talk about myself and things like that has to do with that, you know? And it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault, but I have to just be honest with that particular situation. They focused on the ones that needed more of the help, and that was okay. You know, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but we have to be mindful of, just because your child is doing everything that ideally you expect them to do doesn't mean that you don't really pay any attention to them, if that's, you know, if that makes sense. 100%. And not to say my parents ignored me or anything like that. They definitely did not, but it was just like I did everything literally that I was expected to do. I was that one child that they never had to worry about, and that's what my mom always said, you know? And I know that my dad felt the same way. Yeah. But with that being said, I almost self-sabotaging myself, because now it's almost like I can't even rely on anybody because I'm always the one to do everything for myself. And that could have sabotaged my current relationship, and it doesn't help my relationships either now.
And you had mentioned something to me a while ago, a couple of weeks ago, that you said that, and you know, it made me sad because I realized that maybe I don't do it, or maybe we need to work at it.
Oh, no one ever asks if I'm okay?
Yeah,
no one does.
It is not intentional.
It's not intentional.
So now that I said that, I asked you today, how you doing?
You did.
But it's not intentional though.
But you hear my response. Oh, I'm okay, and I didn't elaborate. But even though I literally am okay,
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I feel like I'm so used to people just assuming that of me.
Yeah.
And it almost kind of brings up. But am I manifesting that? You know, like.
But you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think that we're so programmed to say we're okay. Because even sometimes, depending on who asks me, I might say I'm okay when really I'm not.
Right.
I could be dying inside, stressed the hell out, and I'm like, I'm okay.
Right.
I think we need to be more transparent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think as friends and lovers and whichever, we need to be more
cognizant of people's emotions,
or asking people, how are you doing today?
Yes.
And really waiting to hear the response, or eager to hear the response.
Yes, because there was a time that I knew you weren't okay, and I said, Christine, are you okay? And you said, I'm fine, Shy. And I said, no, really, right? Like, really, because you could sense when somebody's not okay. Mm-hmm. Let's not act like you can't see or feel or notice there's tension. Yeah. And a lot of times people feel like people don't care. That's why they don't divulge things. Yeah. And that's so not like good.
Yeah. Or just because they're like, they're just ashamed, or there's just so many things.
Yeah, shame and whatever.
But you know what? Because you're a good friend, you kept pushing. And that day I ended up talking about it, right?
Yes, you did. You said, oh my God, like, wow, like, oh, that's crazy that you noticed that, because I'm really not okay. And then we started to talk about it. Yeah. And I had to push for you to get there, you know? Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I'm glad I did, because that's generally not what I do.
Yeah.
You know? So
typically most people might be like, okay, well, she's okay. But deep down in your heart, you know they're not okay. So I think we need to be more conscious of that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's just so much things with it. And we just need to, as women, we just need to stop, like, you know, stop assuming. Like, there was something else that we wanted to touch on as far as, like, situations of us assuming. Like, say if you're talking to somebody and, you know, because of past situations, you're assuming what the person's intentions are, right? Like, you're assuming. And it's funny because, like, when my husband first we're dating or whatever, I used to always tell him, it's like, it's crazy because I gave it a chance, but with one foot outside of the situation. Mm-hmm. And I would always say, like, I never put nothing past nobody. Mm-hmm. And I brought that because the reason why I did that is because I brought that from our past relationship, you know? Mm-hmm. But I thank God that he put up with that, because he used to always get so upset.
Yeah.
When I used to say that.
Because you're, like, doubting them. Like,
right.
Like, why are you doubting me? I do that all the time.
Right.
Shaika.
And we can't
I automatically assume that everyone's going to hurt me.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It is.
And I know people do the same thing. That's extremely bad. I automatically assume someone's lying. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're lying. Mm-hmm. Like, that's horrible behavior. That's where therapy would come in.
Yeah, because
that's horrible. Like, I have to stop that behavior.
Because that's
damaging.
It's damaging. Plus, it's like almost like, who will you trust? You're not gonna end up trusting anybody. Like,
nobody.
Right.
That's sad.
Yeah. So to me, it's just like, I get the guard. You're understanding the guard, but the guard shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there.
Because we've talked about it many times. Mm-hmm. Okay, they lie. Mm-hmm. They do whatever. Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen? Mm-hmm. You're going to die. Right. You're not going to die. You're going to be okay. Right. You're going to be hurt. Yes. And guess what? Right. You're going to get back up, dust yourself off, and you're going to be okay.
And get to the root of why the person's even lying, though. Exactly. To me, that's what we need to stop. We need to stop, like, we need to stop thinking that what the person does has to do with us specifically.
And we spoke about this, and it never has to do with us. Like, never. I remember I was just at a 4th of July thing over the weekend, and this lady was telling me that she has a friend that was married, and that her husband cheated, and she cheated with a woman that had, like, bigger breasts. Mm-hmm. So this woman went out and got bigger breasts.
Yes, yeah.
And you know how sad that is? And I can understand why she did that. Because we look at another woman and we'll be like, oh my God, we don't have that. Because I have small breasts, right?
I do too.
Yeah. And I remember being young, being so insecure about that. But honestly, for to piggyback off what Shy said, like, I had nothing to do that she had small breasts.
Right.
It had everything to do of something insecure within him.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It had nothing to do with that. Nothing at all.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
So I think it's sad that we have to second guess ourselves all the time. And I think that Shy makes such a valid point. Like, we really need to get that concept. Like, it has zero to do with us.
Really
I mean, of course it has to do with us. If you like, you mother effer, you ain't ish, and you're beating your man up or something and being mean.
Right.
It has everything to do with you.
Right.
But if you're loving and you're doing everything that you need to do as a woman or a man, it has nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. There's some people that just will never appreciate you because they're a grown up and they're living their childhood.
Exactly.
And they never got help.
They have trauma themselves, and that's why they're doing it. It has nothing to do with you, ladies. It just really doesn't. Like, you have to
or
stop.
Men, right?
Or men. Like,
or men, because there's a lot of women that maybe God bless them. So God bless the women that went through they got molested maybe. They didn't have a father growing up, and they're seeking that validation from men. You know what I mean? And so they cheat because maybe that man's not giving, their boyfriend or husband not giving the attention they need, so they're seeking the validation from other men.
Exactly.
You know? And no judgment to them. No
judgment. You just have to be honest with who you are and why you're doing it, you know? And to me, like, be honest about the situation. Like, you know what? In this day and age, in 2019, there's so much different type of relationships. Like, people have, like I forgot what they call it, but there's relationships that are multiple partners. There's different things. Sometimes people swing. Whatever is your judge. But to me, be honest. Be honest with what you want. Like,
like stand in your truth. Like, if you want to have 5 wives and 5 husbands, then here.
Right. As long as the people that are in that situation are in agreement with that dynamic, then okay. Yeah. But what we need to stop doing is worrying about what outside people that have nothing to do with your individual wants and needs. If they don't have no value add in your life, if they're not paying a bill, if they have nothing to do with it, we do so much of worrying, living a certain way just so to show out, like, for other people. Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna act like this. Because it's gonna be frowned upon if I do this, that, and the third. That's so ridiculous. If you literally, you're telling people what they think of me is more important than what I think of myself. What they think of me is more important, so I'm going to do what they think is best. And then
not live your truth.
Right. And then you end up not being happy the whole time. Exactly. How does that make any sense? Like, we walk around here doing things for other for external gratification. And that's not what's going to make you happy. The internal gratification is where it all starts. And literally, in my opinion, like, we are projections of how we feel. So if you're feeling negative, you're going to attract that whether you want to or not. If that's 100% your thought, if you're going to then manifest that feeling, you know, like, you have to really look and pay attention, you know, and the only way that you will realize you're doing it is to give yourself time to go through that process. But to just discount it and saying it doesn't exist, you shouldn't do that, because at the end of the day, how do you know if you didn't try it? You know what I mean?
Agreed.
You know, so we need to just do a better job of stop trying to live to meet other people's standards, because what you will realize, it's never going to work.
It's not.
It's never gonna work.
Never.
It's never gonna work.
Never.
And everybody is not going to like how you live your life, and that is okay.
They don't need to.
They don't.
I don't need to like how you live.
Right.
And you don't need to like how
I sure don't. But I respect you as an individual.
Exactly.
You know, because how you live is not my freaking business. I don't have to live that life.
No, you don't.
We need to
exactly.
You know, and even like I just learned too, like and I'm learning this recently in life, at the end of the day, stop making so much judgments of other people and what they're doing with themselves. Yes, I don't understand it, but I'm going to take the time to get to know. Because a lot of times we judge people off of what other people are saying. We don't even give it a damn chance.
Exactly. And you don't need, and truthfully, let's be real, you don't need to understand why they do what they do.
And you don't.
You don't need to understand their moves.
You don't. Because it's not your business.
Just respect it.
Respect it.
Just respect it.
Now, if it's impacting you or people around you, then maybe you might guide the person and say, oh, you know what I mean? But I don't think that you should just be throwing your beliefs at people, because there's so many beliefs in this world.
There is, absolutely.
And all these beliefs is what are separating us. It's continually separating us, which that's why there's so much conflict and war in the world, because we all think that we're right and everybody else is wrong. And look at conflict. Why can't we just agree to disagree? Why can't we just say, you know what? I don't agree with that, and that's not how I feel, but I'll respect that.
Exactly.
Why can't we do that?
Exactly.
But the ego, because it's the ego that wants to be right so bad. And what are you getting out of that? What are you really gaining off of it? Nothing.
And it's so
all just right.
Yeah, and it's so liberating when you don't try to like put that fight up against somebody.
Exactly, because you're putting all that energy.
So, because at the end of the day, they're gonna believe what they want to believe anyway.
Exactly.
So it's a waste of energy.
Like, it really is.
If Shaika believes the sky is yellow, Shaika's gonna always believe the sky is yellow.
Right.
Christine's not gonna make Shaika believe the sky is any other color.
Right.
So I'm gonna waste all this time and energy trying to go to head with this chick.
Right.
And she's gonna have her belief.
Right. And the thing is that no one knows everything. That's the thing. That's the beauty of the world.
Exactly.
Like, no one knows everything. So for somebody to be so headstrong with thinking that they're so right all the time about certain things, you can't think that way. You should not think that way.
No.
In my opinion, you should not think that way, because nobody knows everything. No one does. There's infinite amount of knowledge in this world. So for you to be, that is so like unproductive to yourself, you know?
Like these conversations with my Shy.
Yeah,
I just love her.
It's so therapeutic, honestly.
It is. Me and Shy had a really good conversation the other day. Like over an hour, right?
Yes, it was a long conversation.
It was such an amazing conversation, and within our conversations, I'm always like having an aha moment. I'm like, aha.
You know, you set me straight, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, she set me straight, because we were talking about like, it was almost like my problem is too, that I realize that I'm working on now is if people aren't like me or doing things that I'm doing currently, then I'm highly critical of it, you know? And I have to realize, like, as long as the person is positive, if they're a positive value add into my space, then I shouldn't be so critical of the situation. And who am I to really not have patience for other people's processes? And at the end of the day, if I keep externally focusing on everybody else and what they need to be doing to better themselves, and the thing is with me, it's like when I'm developing myself, I want to see everybody come with me at the same level at the same time. And what I have to do a better job of is being patient. But I have to first be patient with myself. Yeah. And the reason why I have these issues is because I really, really, really judge myself highly. Like I really don't let myself go off the, like, I don't accept mediocrity from myself. So therefore I project that outwards onto other people, and that's totally not fair at all. So it's almost like I'm judging them because they're not trying to do what I think is right at the moment. And that's what I'm learning. Christine had to set me straight, and she's like, Shaika, you need to focus on you. Where you're going wrong is you need to focus on you. Stop worrying about what other people are not doing or doing. Yes, it's beautiful that you see so much worth and value and so much creativity in this person, you know, but at the end of the day, it's not your project. Your project is you. So focus on you. She snapped me right back, and I'm like, and at the end of the conversation, she's like, I hope you're not upset. Really? I'm grateful. Like, grateful. Because it takes real people to tell you straight up, like, you know what? You feeling yourself a little bit. And not that she said that, but in simpler terms for me to receive it, it's like, Shaika, you feeling yourself a little bit too much. And you need to worry about you. How are you going to grow any more than you are trying to if you keep focusing on everything else? Everybody else. No, focus on you. When you focus on you, and then I said, oh my God, like me just living me it may just inspire other people to do what they gotta do, but that's not my job to be, it's not my job nor project to be worried about everybody else. It's not. You know? Mm-hmm. So that's the ego, like wanting to be like, oh, Shaika, you're doing everything right. And no, I don't do everything right. No, I'm still trying to do more. And if people are okay and content where they are, I have to be okay with that.
Exactly.
You know, but don't focus on that. If they're not bringing you negative energy, if they're supportive, if when you call on them, they're so there for you, if they really are positive in your life, why would you not want them in your space? That makes no sense. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, Christine. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, so I love that. I love that we can really be candidly honest with each other. And believe me, we've been friends for a long time and we've had to work to get to this space. Mm-hmm. And honestly, through these conversations is how we're able to be so open with each other. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like having these conversations are so needed. And I feel like people are so worried about superficial things, material things, and everything else. And it's just like, while we do love indulging in those things, that's not who we are. That's not the main pillar of what our focus is.
Yeah, and the main focus of our conversations are not ever really like, did you hear what she and he and they and them did?
No.
And well, people need to get away from that too. Not that
I agree.
We're
not
human.
Judging.
We're human and we might talk about somebody, but I'm saying a lot of times people...
We talk about situations, not people.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people are so busy gossiping.
Because they're focusing outward.
Yeah.
And because they're thinking that they're so much better. Yeah. And meanwhile, we're not.
I've had friends that all they do is gossip about other people.
And I can't take that.
That's not... You're not fulfilling my soul.
No,
now you're not. And you know what? I know we're all human when we talk about it. I get that. I'm not saying I don't do that. I do that and I catch myself and I'm like, oh, let me stop.
Right.
And I don't talk about anyone's business and stuff like that. I just might say something like, I don't know.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe she did this or
yeah,
whatever.
like I would never spill someone's business like that.
No, you're definitely not like that. No.
But like, I just don't, you know, like I feel like our conversations of topic just need to be not talked about other people.
Right, because we need to understand why people are the way they are.
Clothing, like you say, or shoes, or houses, or this, or that. Like, talk about stuff that fills your soul. Like,
yes.
And you really genuinely do that for me.
Yeah, and the same here. And that, I mean, honestly, we are so different, but so alike in so many ways, right? You know?
We come from completely different backgrounds. Right. We are two different, completely...
Our current state of living is totally different, but we connect in so many ways that it's so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of the world, is it's like, the whole purpose, too, it was purposeful because she is white and I'm black. But we have so much interest in common. And that's a beautiful thing.
And it's beautiful that we were, like... Because there's people that might not want to mix because of that. Right? There might be a white person that's not really willing to have such a great friend that's black, and vice versa. Right?
And that's sad,
and it's so beautiful that both of us are so willing.
Yes.
I don't see color.
No. Right.
I know you're black.
Yes.
But I don't look at you like...
Right, I'm her friend just because she's black.
I look at it like, that's beautiful. I love seeing...
Right, because you have friends of all colors,
and
shapes,
so do
sizes,
you.
and me too. So I just love the beauty of the world, and I'm looking to uplift everyone. I don't want anybody to be held back.
We have the same goal, right?
The same motive.
We're different, but have the same goal.
Yes, you know, so that's just a beautiful thing, you know.
So find a friend that you can have the same goal.
Right, like you may be different, but you have a lot of like things in common.
And find friends that feed your soul. Like I tell my baby girl all the time.
Yes.
I'm like, baby, you need to find someone that's gonna love you, support you, feed your soul. Mm-hmm. Like you need that. We need that.
Yes, we do.
Right? Yep. Sometimes it's fun to gossip, but we need people that can feed our soul.
Yeah.
Like our soul needs feeding.
Right.
Consistently, right?
Right. But positivity, you know, that negative energy is so bad, and gossiping about people and
that's just so.
It's not. I mean, if you really, really look at it, there is no benefit to you by doing that. And meanwhile, you might have the temporary enjoyment. You start realizing that fulfills you not at all. Not at all. You know, like I don't know. I just don't find pleasure in having those type of conversations. I don't.
Me either.
You know, and not to say that I didn't used to.
And not to say that we don't, like 100%, but it might happen.
Right.
Like,
it might happen.
We're not, you know, because I don't want to portray like, oh, we're so perfect.
Well, no, we're definitely not. Yeah, no. We indulge
might happen
in
a little bit.
No,
not even really.
Oh,
a
it
lot,
definitely
but
happens.
You know what
but
I
I
mean?
try to always catch myself and not really pass judgment.
We don't, and I noticed that we don't do that. Like,
no,
we might have did it 100% more 8, 10, 9 years ago or something. Like,
well, no, I probably did it like 2 years ago. I'm not lie. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, you're right. Know? Maybe me too.
But the difference with me though, if I feel or say something behind a person's back, I'm going to tell them to their face.
Me too. That's the thing with me too. Absolutely. Yeah. And I say that all the time. Listen.
Yeah, the same thing that I'm gonna say.
You get on my nerves.
Yeah.
When I tell Shaika you get on my nerves, I'm gonna tell you too.
Right. Yeah. You're like Shaika. I think Christine, she just doesn't even say anything. She's like, you know what? Let me change the subject. She's just getting on my damn nerves. And I'm like, I'm so annoying you right now. She'd be like, She'd be like, well, you did throw a little shade right there, but you know.
But I definitely don't like to like talk behind people's back. But if I, you know, if like for Raimi, for an example, Raimi gets on my nerves sometimes, and I might tell Shaika, Raimi, I tell Shaika that you get on my nerves sometimes. So I might be like, Raimi gets on my nerves, and then I'll tell Raimi, you get on my nerves. So shout out to you, Raimi, love you. You get on my nerves, but I love you. But yeah, so. But anyway, so today, guys, after this video, Shy and I are gonna go take pictures for her PoshMark, and we're gonna actually link it below. So if you want to purchase any clothing, the link is gonna be there, so you can go over there.
Yeah, go to my little.
And Shaika's gonna be the little model.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not just model the clothing?
Her pretty hair that she made. It looks so pretty.
I'm so feeling this wig. I'm just like so feeling it.
It's so bomb. And it looks so like
natural.
It looks natural, but it looks so like doesn't look dry.
Oh.
It looks so like
it's
fresh.
It's a product that I put in there.
That product. No, but the product's working.
Yes. So yeah, this is it's a Brazilian curly.
Oh,
deep curly.
Oh, it's so nice.
I'm not sure the texture. I forgot, guys. But yeah, this is a wig that I had made. And I'm absolutely feeling myself. Okay?
I'll be feeling myself in about a week and a half.
Oh, yes. Because she's going to Jamaica.
But not because I'm going to Jamaica.
No, you're going on vacation.
No, because you're doing my hair.
Oh, that part. We're doing her hair for vacation.
Oh, I need some jewels.
Some jewels.
Yeah, some jewels in my hair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna hook that up.
Some pretty ones.
Yes. We gotta get some jewels then. We gotta get the hair and jewels.
Okay.
Stay tuned, guys, for that. But thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate any and all feedback. And yeah, just be fabulous, be wonderful. Know that you are worthy. You are worthy.
Don't ever forget that you're worthy.
Yes.
Man, woman, child, whatever. You are all worthy.
Worthy. Try to self-reflect. Try not to be judgmental. Try. Because at the end of the day, if you're judgmental, it may have a lot to do with you and how you feel about yourself than other people. I had to realize that.
Absolutely.
And, just be great and grand like you guys already are, know?
Yes.
So thank you so much. Yes. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys immensely. And just continue to just be amazing. Yep. So, peace, love, and blessings. Bye guys.